Hello there, everyone. This is Mary, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining me. And um, if you like it here, hit that like, share, and subscribe. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the interview between Kamala Harris and Rachel Maddow. You know, that's something big in the news today. And as I listened to the interview, there were some things that weren't said that really, well, I guess nothing surprises us these days, right? But she didn't, no one got into the fraudulent election. No one talked about that. And no one mentioned if she's going to run again or not. So um, I wanted to get into that. And I want to, the thing that she really talked about that got me too was the fact that she said that Pete Buttigieg, I'm thinking I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Picking him would have been too big of a risk. So, I mean, I'm wondering what would have happened if she had picked him. And I want to look at that as far as us as a collective also. I want to look at the spiritual aspects of that, because if we are sitting back as a collective and we are afraid to take risk, when you're afraid to take risk and follow your heart and do what what spirit wants you to do, sometimes we end up in situations like this, like um, with 45. Um, Now, the thing that she did talk about, yeah, he's a tyrant. Everything that she talked about, everything that they talked about, to me was things that we already knew. We didn't get anything new out of the interview, really. So I wanted to throw some cards on it. Now, I haven't gotten the book yet, but if I do, it'll probably be on Audible, and I'll probably listen to it. But I'm not getting a lot of anything new, which is kind of surprising because there's things that she just didn't say that she could have. And maybe it's because she figures that it won't do any good, but she didn't really even throw us a bone. I don't know if she's, because she knows that we've been waiting for her. I'm sure she does. And maybe this is a big hoopla why she was being so quiet because of the book. Um, and she wants everybody interested in that, or again, is she afraid to take that risk and tell us what's really going on? So the first thing I want to do is ask about her, and if she is really thinking about running for in 28. Now, I know some people are still waiting for her to say she's going to be here. Hi, Latrice. Waiting for her to say that she's going to, maybe something will happen and she will be taking the reins before 28. But so far, that's just been a big expectation out there, and we're not really seeing any kind of proof that that may happen. I mean, we're still 45 is still around, and now we get the feeling that, or I get the feeling that if he does go anywhere, Vance is going to be the one that takes the reign of things, at least for a little while, So this whole thing is so big now. It's gotten so big and broad. And it's like, to me, if she was going to do something, she should have done something earlier. It's like, what are we waiting on? Um, I know we're supposed to be patient. Yes, we're being patient, but um, she I didn't get anything really from that interview that was new or that we didn't already know. So, what can we expect from Kamala at this time, Spirit? Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Linda. And happy belated birthday to you also. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. Thank you so much. Um, But what can we, Spirit, what, if anything, can we expect from Kamala as far as her um, getting back into politics? I'll just make it general. I'm not saying run for president or anything like that because I think that's just something, um, even if it happened in 28, for the 28 election, to ask that question now would be a little bit too early, because the energies change and we don't know what's going to happen between now and then. We could speculate. That's what we've been doing all the time, and we've been asking spirit. But like I said, we all have free will, and the energies can change. So let's see. What can we expect from Kamala? I'll put it this way. In the near future. I think 28 would be like, to me, the near future. It's not that far away, guys. I mean, we're going into 26 pretty quickly here, so it's not that far away. All right. So what can we expect, Spirit? Okay, so she's holding on tight. Whatever it is she's doing, she's being stubborn. Not being stubborn, but she's not putting her cards out there on the table. As she didn't. She didn't last, when her and Rachel had the talk. Okay, so she's really clutching her purse here. So whatever it is that she's going to do, she's not letting us know exactly. We need a hint, though. At least a hint, guys. And then we have the Four of Wands, which, she's in a celebratory way right now. Maybe it's because of the book. But it's like, I think that she is going to try to reach out to women more. I have two fours here showing up. I have the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. We all know that fours are about structure and that kind of thing. I think that she's going to try to reach out to women again for whatever, but it's like she's holding on. She's looking at the landscape. She wants to see what's going to happen, and maybe it's because she is giving it time. Because with this Four of Wands, it tells me that there is some things that's happening in the background. So maybe she's building up to it, and she just isn't saying anything to us, to the collective yet. Then we have the Two of Cups. So there is some kind of partnership that she's entering into. I don't know if this is, the book is out. So maybe she's thinking about forming a partnership with someone, or maybe she's talking about someone concerning maybe a run in 28. But I need a little bit more convincing than that, Spirit. So she's not talking. Okay, and we have the Star. So there is hope. She has some faith and some hope. So maybe this is an indication that she may run. Like I said, guys, it's too early because the energies can change and we really don't know. But these cards, it looks like she's keeping something close to her, but she is working on something. She's probably deciding what it is that she wants to do, or I'm sure she knows what she wants to do. She's already picked someone to partner with for whatever it is that she wants to do. Okay. So let's keep going here. Okay. So we have the Nine of Wands. So that's telling me she's standing her ground on this one. I think she's going to be, if she decides to do anything, guys, she's really going to be prepared this time. She's not going to because see, the book talks about, I think it's 128 days. She really did not have enough time to do anything. And I think that the fact that, she didn't really want to put much blame on Biden, or the fact that she didn't have, the campaign was so short and they picked her, this black woman who, um, the chances of her getting in, was she put on a good campaign, but it was going to be hard for her either way it goes. First of all, she's a woman, she's black. Okay. Um, and we can talk about the election, about the interference, all that we want to, but she's not going to bring it up. And you know why she's not going to bring it up? Because she doesn't want people to think that she was a victim of whatever happened. It's like she's going to say, "Well, I fought the best fight that I could fight." Um, so yeah, I think she's being focused. She's doing something in the background, guys. She's definitely doing something in the background, and she's focused. So then we have the Six of Cups. She's thinking about how things happened in the past. I think this is a lesson for her. Um, and I think the lesson is about her not taking those risks, because if she wanted Buttigieg um, to be her running mate, and for reasons, and we know what those reasons are, um, basically because he has a husband and not a wife. That's one of the big reasons. But in the beginning, we all thought that she should have picked him. But although Waltz turned out to be a pretty good running mate also, that was her first choice. And she made that clear that that was her first choice. But she didn't want to take the risk. She thought the risk was too big. So she's thinking about how she handled things in the past. And like I said, this is a lesson for all of us, because if there is something that Spirit is telling you to do, or that is pushing you towards doing, um, I think you need to look at that closely before you jump to something else. In her heart, she wanted to pick him. But listen, guys, we all know that we all know about Vance and his deep eyeliner, and I don't want to say it on here just because we are still there is still that freedom of speech thing again. And everything I say here, guys, is for entertainment purposes only. Okay. Um, but what's the difference? He's the same. He's the same, along with many others that are in there, like Lindsay, So I don't know um, if that risk was worth taking, because it was just going to bring out everything else that was going on as far as I'm concerned. Um, so she's looking at that. She's looking at the way she handled things in the past. Um, oh, here we have the sun. The sun. So, it's about exposure. I think that she probably didn't want to put that much exposure on him, but this is also a joyful card. So the way that she's going now about things, I think that she's feeling good about it, about what's happening right now in her life. She's happy, she's joyful, but she does have that regret about not going with her first choice. And then we have temperance here. So I really do believe that she is trying to balance things now. So she's been, okay, by the time 28, by the time she decides that she's going to run, she's going to be out of the limelight for 2 years anyway, that we know of. I mean, she could have been, I think it took her all this time to decide, or to get over the fact that things didn't go her way, whatever happened. And we know how it happened. But I think because every time I read on her, she wasn't satisfied. She was still in a depressed mode and that kind of thing. But now we're getting the sun card. So she's feeling better about things. So I think that she's trying to balance things. And before she tells us anything, she want to make sure she has all of her ducks in a row. I really think that's what's happening with her. Then we have the King of Wands. the King of Wands. So we all know that wands are about taking actions. Um, but I think this is about when I talked about here the partnership. I think that she knows who it may be, and they're already in some kind of negotiations or whatever. Um, we know that I think Walt's already announced that he was going to run for governor again. So we know that he's not going to be in the running if she decides to do anything. Then we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords. Okay, so this is a new, this is an ending for her and a new beginning. So she's at this point, guys, where she's thinking about doing something new. Now, could it be running again? I'm not sure. Is that what it is, Spirit? And I'm getting yes. She could be thinking about it. But then we have the devil. We have the devil showing up here. Now, why is the devil showing up? It's because she hasn't forgotten about the way she was treated. Um, she doesn't want to have those fears, that shadow of what happened in the past come back over her. She knows that she has to let go of all those things um, that kind of depressed her after her first run. Well, let's move on before I dig deep into it. She's keeping secrets, guys. She's keeping secrets. We have the high priestess here. She is definitely keeping secrets, but I'll tell you what, she is following her own intuition. She's not listening anymore to anything anyone else has to say about what she needs to do or what she should do, because I'm sure when she thought that Pete would be her running mate, I'm sure she got a lot of backlash about he's the wrong one. It's not time for that yet. Blah, blah, blah. She is really going to use her own intuition this time. Whatever way it goes, she's going to use her own intuition. She's not going to listen to what everyone else says, but she is keeping her, whatever it is going on with her, she's keeping it to herself. Not exactly to herself. You know, there's only a few people that really know what's going on with her. Now we have the Nine of Swords. Now she is still a little worried. Okay, and who wouldn't be? If you're going to do something that big, you would be thinking about it twice. Also, you wouldn't just jump out there and she's really thinking hard about this. What if this happens? What if that happens? But I think she's to the point now where is she ready to take that risk? I think so, because here we have the justice card. She wants to do it in her own way, and she doesn't want to have any excuses about what happened the next time it comes up. She's trying to balance those scales, and she's going to get justice behind this. Now, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Judgment card, which is telling me that she's going to let the past go. This is one of the reasons why she didn't bring that up. She didn't talk about what happened before. She's ready to let it go. So I'm going to ask Spirit. Now, guys, remember, and I'm going to talk to Spirit as I read this. Spirit, we know that energies can change at this early date. But Spirit, we need to know right now, today, is Kamala Harris considering running? Is she considering running in the 2028 election? And we're getting a big yes, guys. At this moment, she is. She's keeping a lot of things close to her chest. So we won't know anything probably until she is really ready to talk about it. And I think that's good, because I think that the fact that before she let other people lead her, and tell her how she should do things. I think she even had a problem with Biden at some point. We all saw that. She didn't think that he supported her enough, even though he put her out there like that. I don't think he supported her enough, and I think that she felt that he didn't support her enough. So I think this time, if she does it again, um, she's going to do it in her own way. Now, um, I think there's a lesson in this for all of us. For all of us, I think sometimes things happen, and as a collective, we're looking at the little minute parts of it because we're looking at, well, why didn't Kamala do this? Why didn't so and so do that? All those kinds of things. But what about us? Um, what is the spirit that the risk that we're being called to face as a collective? Because we all know that there's things going on out there right now. Um, that's craziness. It's craziness. We never knew it was going to get this far, but it has. Orange Peel is still here, or someone that looks like him. I'm not sure. I keep getting that he's not here, guys, but whatever the deal is, um, we're still having to deal with that type of energy. So what risk are we being called to face right now, Spirit, as a collective? I don't know if you guys can hear that rain, but it's really coming down hard here. All right, as a collective, Spirit, what risk are we being called to face? Ten of Cups, relationships, families. Um, hmm. Knight of Swords, Page of Cups, and the Empress. So we have to think about, guys, I think that sometimes we don't take the risk that we need to take because we are afraid of um, how our families are going to take it, maybe, or we're risking our some relationships and that kind of thing. So we're doing the same thing. We're afraid to take those risks. We're afraid to take that leap. Now, because we're afraid we're going to become away. We don't have enough faith to do what it is we need to do. We're no different than Kamala. You know what I'm saying? She had a bigger decision to make. But sometimes we have decisions to make also, and we're not willing to take those risks. But we also have the Empress showing up here, which is telling me that there is always, we're always being guided by spirit. Things new things are being asked to be rebirthed within us. Okay? But if you're afraid to take that risk, you'll never get that new birth that's coming your way because you're going to be stuck. You're stuck in a certain place, and so you can't grow. So the spirit is not going to give you that new birth of something new, because sometimes things have to end, and this is where we're at right now in society. It's like things really do have to end because the way things have been going. And I mean, um, 45 has been the one to show us how bad things are. So what are we going to do about it as far as our own lives and that kind of thing? Where are we going to take this? Are we going to stand up and let go what's not working for us anymore, and wait for that or ask for that? What is the spirit that you want us to know, that you want me to know right now, that can bring something new into my life? And sometimes things happen, like, they talk about how many women have lost their jobs, especially Black women, at this time that he's been 45 has been around. Okay, but maybe that's a blessing. Maybe you should look at it in a different way. Sometimes Spirit gives us blessings, and we don't think that. Okay, rain's coming in now. Spirit gives us blessings, and we don't look at it that way. We look at it as something has worked against us when actually something has worked for us. Okay, and we have the Page of Wands here. So sometimes we need to take that action, a new birth. We need to take a new action as we are birthing this new opportunity that's coming for us. Okay, so what's holding us back? What is holding us back? Why is it that we're letting something hold us back? We can look at that as we look at Kamala also. What was holding her back? Why didn't she just say? Was she afraid of? Well, we know she was afraid of how people would take it, but everybody liked him, and Spirit was saying to her, it was okay, but she didn't. She didn't listen. So, what's holding us back when we decide that we're not going to follow? We're not going to take the risk that we should take. What is it? And some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sure we've had those opportunities that we let pass us by. Oh, there's a lot of confusion. Sometimes we have a lot of choices. Sometimes there are illusions and confusion. Those are things we let our mind play tricks with us. And even though Spirit is talking to us, excuse me, guys. And then we got the Empress again. We don't know what that new birth is going to be. That's what's holding us back. But sometimes we just have to take that leap of faith. We have the Page of Cups. Again, we're talking about taking that leap of faith. We don't know what's out there. We're confused. But if Spirit is leading you in a certain way, I would say, gosh, it's time to take it. Oh, that's correct. Linda says, fear of being seen. Fear of being seen. I think that's a hard one. Yeah, sometimes we're not bold enough to step out, and we're afraid of what people are going to say. We're afraid of if people are going to talk about maybe the way we look or the way we talk and that kind of thing. But guys, remember, there's millions of people in the world. We're just one of them ourselves. Everybody's different. There's no two people alike. So there's however God made you. It's okay. It's okay to be seen because you're just another gift. Consider yourself a gift. You're the gift that God gave to others, to us, to the collective. And there's a reason you're here. And if you don't want to be seen, if you're afraid of being seen, you're only hurting yourself, because nobody's going to know what that message is that Spirit has given you to give to others. So I think that's something that sometimes we need to work on, whatever that is. I mean, you don't have to be, maybe you could start just your own little group at first, a little private group or something like that until you get used to being seen, and you'll see that you are not alone. Um, there's all kinds of people out here in the world. So the fear of being seen, I think that's something that you just have to understand, that you need to love yourself and not worry about what other people are going to say or think. Um, and then we also have, oh, yeah, relationships and things like that. Um, other people are holding you back. You don't want to take that action. You think that um, you're going to be cut out of people's lives and things like that. There's so many reasons why we're afraid to take that leap. I see some other questions in here. Let's see. I'm going to go back. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Okay. Joy Reid did an interview with her also. Good. Hi, Bonsil. Karen. Great. I'm glad you guys are here. Latrice. Jackie. Okay. Blessed. I've heard some things about, um, yeah, 107 days to run for president is no time. But about somebody was asking about CK's wife. Who said that? Hi, Wounded Healer. Um, yeah, you're right, Linda. Linda says sometimes it feels safe to be hidden, but we can only be hidden for so long because our light is required. Yeah, and you don't want to dim that light. That's the thing. Oh, I don't know about that, Nora. That's something I'm not going to read on. I see what your question is, but there's going to be there's going to be a lot of rumors about him, and that kind of thing. I think that as a collective, we need to stay on track, guys. We need to stay on track because we know what's being hidden here, right? We know that traffic is being hidden. We know that people are trying to get away with and not admitting who's on the list and that kind of thing. So, of course, there was something going on with when CK was taken out. He was taken out for a reason, okay? And we have to stay on track with the energies, because if it is trafficking that is the big deal here, we need to really focus on that and take care of that. We don't need all these other distractions. For one thing, we need to let them know that these distractions are not going to stop us from thinking about or working on, or the people that should be checking on this is not going to stop them from bringing that forward, to keep that in their faces. Because I'll tell you what, when it comes down to um, what really went on with that, we're gonna have the little people, and the little people is like Diddy. Then we're gonna have the big people, the people that are in politics and bigger, the people, the billionaires, the people with the money, and that kind of thing. This is why it is so important to stay on track. And I mean, it's horrible, but he was one of those unfortunate casualties in this whole thing. It's about actually just trying to distract us, and we know that they would do anything to distract us. So there's more of that coming, guys. I'm sorry to say, until this comes out. That's one of the things that Spirit wants us to know. And I've already said that I don't believe they have the right person in custody concerning what happened to him. Um, and I think that there are at least 3 people involved. But I just want to ask, since this was a crime, I want Spirit to tell me, I guess, why did it happen? Why did it happen? What's the reason behind CK's unaliving? Now, doesn't really matter who did it. We know it was crime, right? We know that people are being set up. Like I said before, all you have to do is look at what happened with Martin Luther King, JFK, and so many others. When it's time, they know what to do, period. There's no speculation there. People are talking about, somebody from overseas or whatever put the unaliving out on him. What difference does it make? For entertainment purposes only, I have to say this. I don't understand why they would. We have to think critically about this, guys. These kinds of things that are happening to us today. Maybe it was, or maybe it could be right here domestically. You know what I'm saying? I don't know for sure, but just the timing of it and everything. Okay, so Spirit. Tell us about what really happened and why with CK's unaliving. We have regret, fire, power supply, homicide, revenge. These are things that we probably already know. Okay, we have regret. We all know the word is that he was asked to stop talking about it. But he kept the fires going with it. At one point he said, okay. Next thing you know, he was back at it again. He wanted to talk about the Epps files. So he kept the fires going. So he was the power. He had a lot of power. He had a lot of power because a lot of people followed him. You can see that from his memorial or whatever. He had the power. He was the power supply. Okay? So with this homicide here, he couldn't be around. He couldn't be around because he had too much power. So we have revenge. Whoever did it. And think about it. If he had so much power, he drew in all the young. Just think about, I don't know, was it 70,000 people that was in that arena or whatever? And then they had an overflow or something, and that memorial went on for hours and hours, and so many people believed in him. He spewed a lot of hate. That was fine with some people. In particular, one particular person who got up and said he hates all of his opponents. Okay? The hate part was good. But the part about him continuing to flame that fire about wanting to see those files, that was not a good thing. Okay? So if you want to say who did it, I think we need to look within our own country, or even why was it done? You know? No, I'm not going to go there. But you know there was 2 attempts on 45. How did this one get to be just spot on? And a kid did it. A wooded area. Yeah, so there's the lie about where they found the, you know what. And we have strangulation here. So they've gotten somebody who they're trying to take the fall. And unfortunately, with all the powers that be, he just, unless something comes up, he just may be the one that has to take the fall. You know what I'm saying? And 50 years later, they'll release him and say, well, we figured out who really did it, and it wasn't him. Isn't that how they always do things? Now, I'm not saying that he may have been involved in some way, or it could have been innocent in a sense, kind of like the one that missed on 45's ear. You know what I'm saying, guys? We have to look at this and think critically about it. So it's not, let's see what we get with the hidden beneath cards here. What's hidden beneath this CK's unaliving? No. What's the little boy with a young man, a 21-year-old? Let's see. What was his name? Austin, was it? I think, guys. Yeah, Indiana, I saw that. It was at the back of the head. Yep. And I mean, so how are they going to explain that away? They'll figure a way and keep that young man. But tell me about him, Spirit. What's behind the 21-year-old that they have in custody for the unaliving of CK? What's behind that? It's true crime. That shouldn't be in there. What's behind having him in custody? What's behind having him in custody at this time? What's behind having him in custody, Spirit? It's true. There's another true crime card in here. Shouldn't be in there. All right, Spirit, talk to us. Talk to us about the 21-year-old that is in custody that's being blamed for the unaliving of CK. Breaking a contract, like I said, it's not like these are upside down. Some of them are. Breaking a contract. So he could be involved in some kind of way, guys. I'm not saying that he's not. But did he pull the trigger? Total drama. Copycat. I really think that he was being used. Then we got emotional intelligence. Now, we already know that what they're saying, I don't know if it's true or not what they're saying, but um, that he wasn't a straight heterosexual person. Um, Emotionally, that could have affected him in order for him to even get involved. Um, Pregnancy test. Okay. What does that mean, Spirit? I think he was unsure about what he was getting into, and maybe at some point, because it's like pregnancy scare, at some point, maybe he kind of backed away, or then we have expecting a new beginning. Kick to the curb. Yeah. Yeah. Now, there could have been some money in it for him or his family or whatever, but he didn't think that it was going to go like this. I mean, we talk about emotional intelligence and that kind of thing. He's kind of young. He didn't know maybe what he was getting into when he got into it. And he didn't expect to be kicked to the curb and blamed for everything like he was. It's kind of like a setup. And here we're talking about his sex again. Um, Maybe with his, maybe he knew that certain people were not going to accept what he was. If this is true, that he wasn't a straight male, um, that emotion that may have affected him emotionally. Yeah, we have depression here. And it's easy for people, especially at that age, to get into things that they shouldn't. They can be easily persuaded, especially if they have a problem going on. And here we have caution. And he had to make a decision about whether he was going to stay in or not. And this is hater. He knew that people hated him. He may have even hated himself for the fact that, I mean, they said his father is a minister, and um, that may have entered into his decisions to get involved in something like this. Then we have anger management. I'm sure there's times when he felt um, angry about the way people feel about if you're not straight white male. You know, there's a lot of problems, and we have burning evidence. So, whatever is going on with him, I feel like it was more like a setup, and he was an easy target. He was an easy target to get to, for him to do some work with these people. Just like the young man on that rooftop, um, 145 supposedly, so they say, got, you know, shot in the ear. Um, we know that was a setup too, and he had to take a fall for it. So, yeah, those notes were not real. Hi, Nick. I'm just looking at some of your looking at the chat right now, looking at some of the things that you guys are talking about. Uh, I wanted to take who down? Don't trust, do not trust MTG. Hmm. I hear what you're saying, Neek. Yeah, all of this is true, guys. I'm reading your comments. A lot of things you guys are saying is true, but it's something that we cannot. Uh, um, we have to keep our energy higher than that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who McBeto is. Yeah, he had a lot of followers, and if he could get all of them to ask for that, but you know what? I don't think that, and I think I read on this the other night. I think it's going to backfire. They quieted him because they wanted him to stop talking about it, but I think that's just going to make people want to go even deeper and find out what's going on with the Epps files. Oh yeah, Neek. She said, "Hey y'all, let me just put it up here." She says, "Still here with me. I guess the rapture didn't take y'all either. LOL." Good evening, Neek. Right. The rapture. What is it, guys? I mean, really. Hi, Barbara. Um, Come on. I want to know. I don't know why some people are so um, into this rapture. I mean, it comes about every few years. People have to realize Jesus is not coming back, and you're not going to be saved from something. What do you think you're going to be saved from? I mean, really. Sometimes it's just unbelievable what people think. But Jesus is not coming back. You can look at it like however you want to look at it. That's not going to happen. God is. God just is. God is everywhere. God is within us. God is within the air, the fire, the water, the lights, this room. Okay? And that's how you should be living. I'm not telling anybody how to live, but that's just how I feel about it. And for all of these people who follow these crazy doctrines, I hope that they learn something from this. So let's look at the rapture. Let's look at the rapture. All right, Spirit. Talk to me about the rapture. Why is it that people are following this kind of doctrine? What is it? that makes them feel like this sort of thing can be true. The magician fell out. Now, in this case, the magician, I'm just going to say this. They're following the wrong kind of faith. They're all worked up about something that has been told to them. They don't realize their own power. They don't realize their own power. They're going to follow someone. It's kind of like that, was it Jim Jones or whatever, that had people drink all the Kool-Aid, drink that Kool-Aid. And they think that they're special. And only they follow this thing about in religion about we're special because we believe this way. Well, do you know how many religions there are in the world? There is so many religions in the world. So we're all never going to follow the same thing. But anyway, I won't get off on that. Let's see what else. The King of Cups. The King of Cups. They're very emotional about this. And they think that the leader that they're following is, or the religion that they're following is the one. It's the one. 10 of Pentacles. So they feel like if they follow this, that they will be secure, and they will definitely end up going through those golden gates of heaven. But why? So they're following the structured religion in a sense. Now, there's all of them may not even be the same religion. I think they consider themselves Christians, but there's so many Christian religions, so many religions that fall under Christianity that teaches different things. Okay, so some believe this, some don't. And they think that the people that don't are really going to go burn in hell. We have the Page of Wands. They think that they're going to get a new beginning. Like these doors are going to open from the skies, and they're going to enter, and they're going to get this brand new beginning. They're going to be living in a land of milk and honey. And so they've made plans. They made plans to leave this earth and leave all the heathens behind. They really had faith in this, though. They really, really believe this. And we have, here we go. They've made the plans, and now they're just waiting. The plans have been made, and they've been waiting. But I don't know, is it through the 24th? Maybe tomorrow is the cutoff. I'm not sure. It's very foolish, though. It's very foolish. What they're thinking is very foolish. They really need to sit down and go within and ask to be connected to spirit. Ask for the true, real, true answers, and be open to the true answers. This kind of thing has been going on forever. Yeah. Here's the King of Swords. Yeah, connect with your heart and with your soul so that you can get the truth, the true knowing from the Creator, whatever you may call that. God, what they call it, all the different names, But I call it, the Creator, the universe, whatever. And then it's really not hidden from you what is true. But you have to be open to it. You have to use your intuition. See, this is the thing. People are just following, they follow almost anything. The same thing that I was talking about the young man that did the shooting. You know, he may have naively gotten involved with something that he shouldn't have, but probably somewhere along the line, he felt it, and we get intuitions, we get insights and that kind of thing. But if we're so deep into something that we're not going to let go, no matter what cults, in other words, yeah, we can be led astray. And the amount of people, um, and we have the Page of Swords again here, the information that these people take in and the amount of people that took it in, it's crazy. It just tells us where we are in society, And I know that it takes time. Everybody, we're not all on the same page spiritually or religiously. Everybody's learning, but some things are just, yeah. So, Spirit, I need to know, what would you tell those people that were waiting for the rapture? What would you say to those people that were waiting for the rapture? Can we get some advice, Spirit, for the people? And we get the world. So that tells me that this is something that has come full circle at this time. And we have strength as I cut the cards. So you have to stay strong I think you have to stay strong and get the strength to follow your own intuition. Let's see, what else, Spirit? It's like these doctrines, these religious doctrines that have been taught for hundreds of years now, I guess thousands, have taken us away from the truth. It's taken us away from the truth. And some people don't want to realize that they're being lied to. They don't want to accept the fact that they're being lied to. Now, all of these people, I wonder what people are feeling like. Anyway, I'm asking Spirit. Again, we get the King of Swords. The King of Swords. The information is within you, and the universe will give it to you if you ask. The Eight of Wands. Okay, so the information is coming quickly to these people to let them know that they're not going anywhere. They're going to stay right down here with the rest of us who were supposed to be left behind. And they're getting this information quickly. We have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, guys, she usually has her little black cat with her, and that black cat can be a little mischievous sometimes. Okay, that's what I'm getting with this. They followed the wrong thing, as usual. And then we have the Two of Swords. It was like they were blindly led, and they were so blindly led that they made the choice to believe that they were going somewhere and they were going to leave all the bad people behind, that the heavens were going to just open for them and they were going to be the only ones. They did this blindly. Okay? And can you think about the people that left? Okay, we had, oh, wow, the Knight of Cups. This is perfect. They followed. The Knight of Cups is someone that tells you, just think of a lover that you may have. He tells you, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. And he romances you and all this and brings you flowers and things like that. And then he doesn't show up. That's what this Knight of Cups is. They were misled. and they believed it. But just think about, guys, all the people that they were selling their homes, their cars, they were leaving notes about what to do when, when they're gone, and that kind of thing. I mean, come on. That's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. Um, so I don't know. Okay, some of them filmed themselves on TikTok, and YouTube. I bet they took their videos down for embarrassment. I mean, guys, it's really not funny though, because these people really did believe this. They really did. So yeah, um, yeah. So I think we should send them love and light. Hey, maybe they'll get it one day. Yeah, organized religion is a big problem because it stops people from thinking for themselves, from using their own power that was given up to us by the creator to be in contact with that power. It lets other people control us and tell us what we have to do if we want to end up in the creator's arms. Um, so that's it's just sad. Yeah, all cultures have similar stories, um, dating back, but it didn't used to always be that way. Oh, Neek, you are so funny. Go pack your bags, Neek. Yeah, go pack your bags. I wonder if you can take them with you though, because I thought when you pass on, your spirit is gone. You can't take anything with you. Your spirit comes out of your body. Yeah. So I don't know. But people are, they can have their own beliefs. There's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, I don't know. We're still trying to be you see how many people, and I guess that's just the way we're not all going to become awake at the same time, guys. I just hope that it's enough of us to be awake to stop this mess that's going on right now. Yeah. Catherine says Jim Jones in Guyana. Now MAGA. I have no problem with y'all following. Yeah, orange peel to the desert. And drink his Kool-Aid and live in a community alone. I understand. That's so true. Yeah, why don't you just follow him somewhere? Um, because it looks like he's going to be. I mean, he's going to be around until we learn our lesson, guys. And you would think that we would have learned it by now, but I don't know. What was going on in that arena? How many people were in there following him? So, if the creator is about love and all these people are still spewing hate, then what does that say? You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, guys, I'm not going to stay on here. I just wanted to talk about Kamala for a minute and talk about what she didn't talk about, and to let you guys know that there is a lesson in that for all of us. Use your intuition. It's there for you. It's given to all of us. Um, and follow what you think is right for you. I think if she had a just um, picked who she wanted, maybe it would have been different, maybe not. But I'm just saying that's the one of the things that she seems to regret is that she didn't pick Pete. And we were for a long time. I was like, I know she's going to pick him. I know she's, and then she picked um, Waltz. But that's who she really wanted. She should have stuck with it. Oh, you think it was that kind of rally? Okay, Nora. Okay, guys, thank you for being here, and I will see you on the next read. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye.